matters in his own head with Ridley Gregg in front of the net there last night?
Yeah, tempers flare in playoff hockey, and that stuff's going to happen. But we're not going to look too much into that. Just two passionate guys playing the game, and sometimes stuff kind of boils over. But they each got their 2 minutes, and we moved on.
Given Max's ties to the organization, what was it like to see him get the goal last night to send you guys the game?
Yeah, that was cool. And there's a few of us guys that are more local guys that could imagine that feeling, and we're all super happy for him. Him and Benny made a great rush, I think 2-on-4 or something like that, and he just made a great play and a great shot. So once we saw that puck go in, it was just we were all pretty happy.
You know Anthony pretty well. They're obviously trying to get to him, get under his skin. How would you assess his ability to handle that?
Yeah, I mean he usually doesn't. He usually let that get the best of him, and I don't really think it did. He's just sticking up for himself, and that's what he felt was necessary to do. And we have his back, but he's just the way he is in the net, and he's a competitor, so he's not going to get pushed around. He'll stand up for himself, but again, like I said, that's playoff hockey. Intensity ramps up that much more, and things like that are going to happen. I'm sure that's not the only case in the NHL playoffs of something like that going down, but yeah, we just move on.
Where's the confidence in the group knowing that lots of areas to improve in, but you still have 2-0 here? That doesn't, I don't want to say cost you guys, but better hockey to come when you're still 2-0.
Yeah, and you're not going to play your best every single night. There's going to be stretches where you're hemmed in or you don't have all the momentum, and that stuff's going to happen. It's hopefully a long playoff run, and there's a lot of things you can learn and take away. And again, each season, it's a new group every year. There's always new faces and stuff like that. So you learn more and more about your teammates, and it's about how you manage those, the downs that you can rebound and be able to get back up. And this group's done a good job of that all season long, and I think it's no different in the playoffs now. We address it in video. We go out and practice, and we go and make those tweaks and changes, and then hopefully that translates onto the ice and game.
I know you appreciate the atmosphere here, but what are you expecting in Ottawa?
I'm not sure yet. I don't know how many Leaf fans are going to be allowed in the building. I know in playoffs, home teams usually, I don't know if they limit that. I don't know if that's on purpose or not, but energy's energy. It doesn't matter if they're booing you, if they're for you or against you. Obviously, the goalies go chance help at home, but we expect a loud crowd in their favor, and we can feed off that. We can use that energy as well.
How do you feel about the way your line is playing right now and the chemistry you've built with Calle and Lawton?
Yeah, it's we're on the same page right now, and that's what makes it easy to go out there. And we're not always going to be in the O-zone. Sometimes we get the matchup and we're against their top lines, and we're very comfortable out there doing that. I think we're all confident in our defensive abilities, and we kind of know where each other are going to be, and we've created that chemistry. So it's nice going out there and you don't feel nervous like you're on your heels. We can kind of take it to those lines and kind of hem them in the offensive zone as well.
There's 4 of you guys in this series that played for the Panthers last year. Nick Cousins was talking yesterday about you had a parade one day, and like the next day or two, it's free agency and the band is broken up. Like how weird is that? And take us through what those 48, 72 hours were like.
That was a little wild, and that was maybe a little different than past seasons because the playoffs went so late last year. And like you said, we were out there celebrating and partying with the group that won it. And then, within 24 hours, we had 6 or 7 guys already signed with different teams. And I guess that's just the nature of the business with the salary cap and stuff like that. Guys that win are in free agency contracts. Other teams are going to throw some money at them and some deals that are hard to turn up. So as a player, you have to look after yourself sometimes. And it was tough seeing the group kind of get split up like that. But again, those are memories we'll have forever, and they're all good guys, all good memories with the guys even that left. There's no hard feelings and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's the way it is.
One more question about the crowd. It's going to be very expensive for a lot of these people to go to Ottawa because the tickets are up. Just wondered if you could comment on their commitment to go that far and pay as much as they're going to.
It's great to have the fan support, and we know it's definitely not cheap to go to these games, and I'd like to think it's worth it. You're seeing some, 2 teams that really, really don't like each other, and the hockey this time of year is always going to be, top notch. So we appreciate that they pay their money, they come out and they cheer on. They have every right to cheer and boo as loud as they want. So, we hear them. Like I said, we feed off that. We thrive off that. So, yeah, it means a lot to us.
Steve, is that the first time you're on the ice for the opening face-off? It's kind of got playoff in it.
Actually, no. I think my first year We started every single game because the Nashville Predators like their fourth line, so we were seemingly out there. Yeah, so it's like we'd lose the face-off, we'd go into our end, and you'd get, probably 3 or 4 hits against you, and then if we won the face-off, went down to their end, then they were probably feeling the same way. But sometimes it's not always power on power, line one on line one. It's the checking guys that you want to get the energy and the crowd going in the building. It might just take a big hit on the first shift. So, that's a tactical game that the coaches play. And again, our line, we've been comfortable. It doesn't matter what line we see. So we went out there just ready at puck drop to be able to go and make an impact.
What was it like seeing Stolarz stand up for himself there with Greg last night?
Yeah, I mean, Stolar's a big boy. He can handle himself. Not a big deal. Was great to get the win.
What's allowed the line, the three of you, to come together so quickly and have the impact that you can?
Yeah, we've been pretty good. Working hard out there, working for each other. Try to help the team as best we can.
How do you feel about Scott Lawton joining this group and becoming more comfortable now 2 games into the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I know how it's like being traded at the deadline. Tough to get into a new group, but he's been doing a great job. He's a great guy. I'm happy to play with him.
What was it like seeing Max Domi find the back of the net in overtime for you guys last night?
Yeah, I mean, it was fun to see. Fun to see him shoot for once too. It was nice.
Have you noticed him kind of work his way through? The puck hasn't been falling for him much of the year. It feels like he's putting in a lot of extra work these days. What have you noticed about how he's worked through things?
Yeah, I mean, Max is he's always working hard. He's a hard worker. He came through for us yesterday. It's a good confidence booster for him.
You're up 2-0 in the series. As a player, how do you make sure that you stay aggressive going into game 3 and not rest on that kind of, we've got 2 games up, we can afford to kind of punt one here?
No, it's just next day, next game. They're gonna be better. We're gonna try to be better. Be fun to play tomorrow.
What are the priorities for this specific line when you guys are out there? What are you most trying to make sure you do on the ice?
Try to work hard. Try to create momentum for a team. Try to hold on to the puck as much as we can. Drawing down there, just be a reliable line.
What stands out to you about the atmosphere for Leafs games in Ottawa?
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be loud in there as well. It's my guess. Can't wait to go there and get started to play tomorrow.
What's it do for you when there's a lot of blue in a visiting barn?
Yeah, I mean our fans are everywhere. It's always nice to see them in the stands. But it'll be the same tomorrow.
What stood out most about Holmberg's game during the playoffs with you guys?
He's strong on the puck. Can make plays. Works hard. Yeah, he's a good player. Fun to watch.
What stands out to you about Allmark?
Fellow Swede, good goalie. Yeah, he's a good goalie for sure. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about him.
That's good. What was the kind of talk on the bench when there was that long delay early in the game? He was at the bench. We weren't sure what was going on. What were you guys saying?
What happened? I don't even.
Yeah, he had like an equipment thing. I don't know. He was at the bench.
Yeah, I don't know. Nice to get some extra rest. We'll take it.
Would you like to see Anthony take matters into his own hand with Ridley Greig there last night?
Yeah, no, it's just 2 guys going at it, willing to trying to win a game. So yeah, I wouldn't go after Stoli if I was him. So no, he's a big guy.
You got to know him. Like they're trying to get under his skin, right? They're trying to get in his kitchen. How would you assess his ability to handle that?
No, I think, I mean, that's playoff hockey, right? Like, everybody's trying to kind of do whatever we can to get under their skin, and they're trying to do the same thing with us. So that's part of the playoffs, and yeah, it's whoever can stay calm and focus on what we have to do.
However, you've seen Steven Lorentz do his thing for a while now, and what do you think of the work he's done in the fourth line and that line as a whole, and the impact they make through the series?
No, I think Stevie, he shows up every day. He knows his role. I will say that I think he could play up the lineup. I think he's skilled, and but he's buying in. He's doing his thing. He's been very good for us this year, and I really like that fourth line. First game they were unbelievable, and last night too. So yeah, it's good to see.
Austin, Mitch, Willie, JT, all with multiple blocks last night. What does it mean to the group to see those guys get in and block those shots?
No, it means a lot for the group. Obviously, paying the price. That's what it's all about this time of the year, and we need everybody to do that. And if we do that, we're going to have a better chance to win.
Your first year here in Toronto, but I'm wondering what you've made of the visiting arenas when you've looked in the crowd and seen blue in a lot of different places.
No, it's been great all year. I mean, obviously, I knew that coming here. It's a very passionate fan base, so it means a lot that we have them in the stands pretty much every night and cheering for us. So they want us to do good, and we want to be playing good for them. So no, it means a lot.
Are you expecting a lot of blue tomorrow, even though it's the playoffs?
Oh, I haven't thought about that, but yeah, we'll see, I guess.
You're up 2-0 in the series based on last year's place, and particularly in the final. What did you learn, and how did you mindset in terms of how do you make sure that you don't let the team back in the series and rest on that lead you have?
No, I think I feel like every game is different, right? Like they're trying to do different things. We're trying to clean up the areas that we feel like we haven't been very successful in, and trying to do what we have been doing good. So I feel like every game is different, and yeah, we're just trying to focus on the next one here and try to take it to the next level, trying to play better, trying to get that win. That's all we're focusing on.
What's the experience that you, Stephen, and Anthony had last year bring to this dressing room, and how weird was it that within 48 hours of you guys celebrating, all of a sudden the band broke up and guys are signing with other teams?
Yeah, I mean, I think it helps going through what we went through last year. With that being said, I think all of us are focusing on what we're trying to do here, and I mean, I think it's just we're trying to. I mean, at least I can talk for myself. Like I'm trying to be a good teammate. I try to help the guys out in this room in whatever way I can. So I'm not really looking at it that way, but yeah, it's just I'm trying to do what I can and trying to be the best teammate I can be, and yeah, just trying to bring whatever I can to the table.
Oliver, the Sens have spent a fair bit of time in the series in your zone. Are you guys happy with how you've played there, or do you feel like maybe less time in the D zone?
Yeah, I don't think you want to be in your D zone, obviously, but it's going to happen. I will say that we feel comfortable in the D zone, the way we play and defend, and obviously with Stoli back there playing good for us. Yeah, I mean, I think it's always stuff that you can clean up and do better. So that's what we're trying to do for tomorrow, and that's our focus.
Morgan's got 2 goals in 2 games. As another defenseman, what stood out to you most about him so far in the series?
No, I think he's a good player. He skates well. He's been, I mean, when you shoot and you kind of follow up the rushes and stuff like that, good things going to happen. And I think it starts with the D zone. I think he's been defending very well lately, and yeah, I think that comes into play. So no, he's an unbelievable player. So it's fun to see him chip in some goals, and yeah, he's a playoff guy.
What stands out to you about Allmark?
Yeah, good goalie. That's all I can say.
What do you make of how Max responded? You know, the tying goal goes in, you couldn't quite get to your pass there, and then he responded.
Yeah, I don't think that's Max's fault. I think I have to take the blame for that. It's probably not a play that I should make at that time of the game. But I told him, I'm like, hey, you better go and score now.
So you get the credit.
No, I don't get the credit, but okay. It was nice. But hey, that's what this group does. Yeah. We back up each other. We stick to our game plan, and it paid off last night. So it's fun to see Maxi getting a goal there, and a big one for us.
Guys talk about making a physical investment in a playoff series. Usually it's with hits. With Stolarz, what he did in the game last night, do you think that sends a message to the Sens about what's going to happen if they go to the front of the net, or is there any impact there beyond what happened in the game last night?
No, I don't think so. It's just like he commented on it that, you know, it's in the heat of the moment, you know, type deal, and he's just protecting his crease,
Right, going into
which
that,
I don't have a problem with.
going
Yeah.
into yesterday, you're talking about an improvement on the forward check, breaking the puck out, that sort of thing. Do you see those areas?
In the first period was very good, I thought. And, like I said, in the second period, I think, you know, we ended up getting pucks in our zone and didn't advance it. We kind of just threw it out, didn't make a play, you know, kind of give it back to them, and they three-quarter iced us a little bit too much in the second period. And there's plays available, you know, we can make.
But what's your thought process when you haven't done these things really to your liking too much, but you're still up 2-0? How do you?
Well, like I said, you're always, you know, looking to improve in areas throughout playoffs and throughout the season, and you know, it's like we can be better here. Like, instead of just we're up 2-0, don't just, you know, hang on to the lead almost, you know, that kind of mentality. We got to keep attacking. We got to keep making plays and keep putting the pressure on them. You know, those are all things that you're going to keep trying to improve, keep working on, show the guys, and, you know, it's just confidence, right?
When you've got an opponent like Greg, what's the best approach, do you think, for your guys to take to going up against him?
Well, he's a good player. I mean, he's a competitor. You know, he's got a lot of good traits, hockey traits, you know, in my opinion. You got to play him hard. I mean, you just got to keep playing. You got to play him hard, and he's going to do what he does. And like I said, you can't retaliate. You know, it's important not to retaliate, but at the same time, you got to protect too. You know, we got to protect our goalie, and we got to be strong at our net, and not allow people to come in there and you know, get involved with our goalie. That's important for sure. But at the same time, we can't react to things he does and go to the penalty box.
When you're going into overtime last night, what's the message to your team?
You know, just keep playing. Like, I thought our third period was really good. I know we didn't give up a shot until that goal. I thought we were playing a pretty good period. Those are going to happen in games, and you got to reset. It's a quick reset in overtime. You know, you got a quick reset, and nothing much changes. You keep going and play our game. Get back on the attack, and you know, throw everything at the net. Throw it at the net. You never know. And like, you know, different people score in overtime because of that reason, right? You just throw things at the net and they go off people. Anything can happen. So you got to simplify and just put pressure on them.
You won't have last line change in the next 3 games. What does that mean in terms of attention to detail? It has to be even more important, I guess.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we're not going to have last line change, and you know, he's trying to get his matchups here at home too. You know, like doing different things, changing guys on the fly and all that. That's all part of the cat and mouse game. And but you know, we're just going to go play. I mean, it's business as usual. And if we can't get matchups, we have guys that are capable of doing the job.
Your run in with St. Louis, you were known for how much you valued your fourth line. You started a lot of games, playoff games with your fourth line. You started last night's game with your fourth line. How important is it in terms of depth in the playoffs? You've always stressed that from day one here.
Yeah, I think it's highly important. You need everybody in playoffs, and you need everybody to do the job. And you know, in 2019, our fourth line was very effective for us. Not only defensively and matchups and doing things like that, but they scored goals, and they scored big goals. And you need that in playoffs. So Lawton's line been very good for a while now, and you know, gonna keep using them.
Over 30 blocks for you guys last night compared to Ottawa having just 6. Austin, Mitch, Willie, JT, all with multiple blocks. What does that say about the way?
Well, you got to do that. That's part of playoffs is, you know, you got to really dig in those areas, and, you know, you got to block shots when you have to. And we had to last night in a lot of areas, and guys did a great job of it, and everybody's got to do it. It's highly important. I can look back on playoffs teams and, you know, look at the stats and all that, and if you look at a lot of the teams that were successful, they blocked a lot of shots. You got to block shots. That's a good team over there. They're going to get opportunities. They got skill, and they got a lot of good things over there, and they're going to get opportunities. And that's the desperation you need in playoff hockey, is to get in front of shots.
Keep rolling with the same lineup tonight, tomorrow night, figure?
Yeah, probably. We'll see. Still thinking about things and what we can do, and maybe to improve, get better, or we'll see. I haven't made a mind up yet on that.
What was the message to Nick after his penalty last night?
Well, he knows you really got to like manage your stick, you know, and it just his stick got a little high and caught a guy in the face, and you know, you go to the box. So, you know, it's just discipline, right? You gotta have control of your stick. That's definitely you know, refs are calling that all day. Whether your stick's in the guy's hands or you slash a guy or whatever, they're going to call that stuff. That's 100% for sure they're calling that stuff. So control your stick. You know, you got to control your stick.